is Sky One, a part of the British Sky Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to Games World. Tonight is review night, so please enter the House of Games.
Hi, and welcome to this week's House of Games, a quest for the latest in video game reviews and hardware.
Our panel of experts tonight will be reviewing X-Men on the Mega Drive and Betrayal at Crondor on the PC.
And I'll be taking a sneak preview of an amazing new device that enables you to play video games via the telephone.
But now for tonight's first review. And it's X-Men on the Mega Drive. Comic Land, here we come as the Marvel superheroes, the X-Men, come to life in a battle to the death with arch-villain Magneto. The mad Magneto has devised the world's deadliest computer virus, and from his asteroid command center, he plans to aim the virus towards Earth in a bid to destroy the X-Men. Take control of one of the 4 Teenage Mutant superheroes, be it Gambit, Nightcrawler, Wolverine or Cyclops. Master their very own special moves and attacks and take on Magneto's cronies in weird settings like the Savage Land and the Shi'ar Empire. Change characters as you progress through the game, choosing the superhero to fit the gameplay. Team up with a friend, pick up the power-ups and use the backup X-Men to help you in your struggle to destroy the deadly forces.
Good evening. I think you'll find it's going to be very unseasonable weather with a storm front going over the House of Games, followed by a bout of wind, and if you're lucky, a quick hurricane.
Michael, this is supposed to be a game review, not a weather report.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Anyhow, let's get on with the review. First of all, X-Men. Well, it's all new to me, as a matter of fact, but one of the characters I chose did rather resemble me. I think he was sort of young, handsome, suave, sophisticated and all that, and he had various qualities. But I found it rather boring because I spent ages trying to fathom out how to work the thing, and I was going left and right. I ended up going right, and then left, and nothing much seemed to happen.
X-Mutants, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, now we've got the X-Men. Seems like we've had too many muted games for our delectation recently. And to be quite honest, this one really doesn't offer a great deal more than the others did. You pick your character and suddenly you're up against Magneto's henchmen. You're leaving from through the forest, through the caverns. There's plenty of things to pick up, like extra lives, there's extra weapons. And don't forget to press the A button for your special powers as well when you come up against a particularly tough guy. Give X-Men its due. The graphics are quite nice and the sprites do move very smoothly. They've also got their different movements, jumping techniques. So that's a plus side. It looks nicer than a lot of the games around at the moment. But quite apart from the graphics, gameplay is very, very dull.
It's not very exciting, but the graphics are really good and there's plenty of special things you can do, like calling on your X-Men pals. There's lots of screens and there's lots of variety, but there's not really much fun.
I think I'll only give it about 5 out of 10. I don't really like it.
7 out of 10. As I say, it looks quite nice and it probably is a bit better than some of the other mutated games around at the moment, but it really isn't worth any more than that.
Well, I'd give it 7 out of 10 because it's not so bad that you wouldn't want to play it, but I wouldn't really want to buy it.
A 5 and 2 7s for the X-Men on the Mega Drive. It's a shame that the novelty touches and the 4 different players don't really give it enough to make it a classic, but it's still a platformer worth checking out.
They say computer games rot your brain, but we don't agree. House of Games joined with Amiga Format magazine to find Britain's cleverest games player using the Amiga's Real Genius game as the judge. For the lucky winner, an incredible trip to Australia. Bet you wish you'd done your homework now.
What we're doing up here on stage is the Games World Commodore Real Genius competition.
Today we're here at the Amiga Format Live. This is in Wembley in London. And it's a competition for under 18s, and they've got 10 multiple choice questions, all on general knowledge. It's an excellent chance for these children to win a trip to Australia.
Hi, I'm Jamie. and I've just had to go on the Real Genius competition. I got 7 out of 10 in 56 seconds, which is the leading time at the moment.
Okay, next one up. Take the hot seat. What's your name?
Adam.
Good luck, Adam. 7 out of 10 in 41 seconds. That's incredible. That's the best score of the competition so far.
I'm a bit disappointed because apparently somebody's beaten my time. They'll be going to Australia, it looks like now, but I'm still getting an A1200, so I'm pretty pleased about that.
I've just found out I got a score of 7 in 41 seconds, and currently that's the best time, so it looks like I may well have won a trip to Australia.
Competition's over now, and it's been won. The winner is Adam. You gonna come up here, Adam? Did one of those victory things. Adam's the winner.
I'm really pleased about being here today and winning this computer. I'm looking forward to getting home tonight and playing it. I think the Real Genius competition is a really good idea.
I'm very pleased with having won this competition, although it's a bit of a surprise, and I'm looking forward to going to Australia and seeing the World of Crondor show.
I hope you learned something useful from that. And now, on to our second review, which is Betrayal at Crondor on the PC. You enter a complete fantasy world set over 9 stages. There are specific goals that you need to accomplish at each stage in order to go on to the next level. But how you achieve them is, well, it's entirely up to you. No time limits exist in this world, therefore you have plenty of time to build up a band of followers while exploring the strange countryside. Pick your friends carefully because the wizards, elves and dwarves that coexist in the land of Mania may not be friendly. Involve yourself in the politics of the realm, the bitter family feuds between the kingdoms of the Isles, and develop your character fully before you make your way south to Crondor and the battle against the evil that awaits.
There's loads of simple things to do. All the controls are very simple to pick up with icon clicking, and lovely digitised pictures of the adventurers. It's different from most role-playing games in that it's all first-person perspective viewed, and there's very little map involvement or little sprites moving around. But there's an awful lot of text, and it's really one for you only if you're into role-playing games.
Betrayal at Crondor. Now, this one really is a beast. If you've got a couple of hours to spare, then you've just got about enough time to read the instructions and load the game. It's a bit Tolkien-ish. It's based on the books by Raymond Feist, if you've heard of him. It's a whole world called Mania, and somehow they've managed to cram this whole world into one game, which means you've got an awful lot of playing room in there. The graphics are stunning, 3D. You can move around wherever you like. There's no one route to get to the goal. It really is a stunning game. It's an awful lot crammed in there. If you like the books, then I really recommend this game. And even if you don't, then you're going to love this. If you like adventure games, it's out of this world.
I didn't really find that particularly interesting. I suppose it's as well we're not allowed to have this sort of thing on our computers at work, because it took me ages to sort it out, and it seemed to take ages to get anywhere. We were just slowly going along this road, nothing very much was happening, and you had to read page after page of instructions. So, having played with it for about a quarter of an hour, I felt I got nowhere fast. The graphics certainly were very good indeed, but that was the only thing that I liked.
I'd give it 8 out of 10 because it's an incredibly good game if you're into these sort of things, but if you're not, all you can do really is marvel at the graphics.
Betrayal at Crondor, for me, has got to be worth 8 points.
I'm only going to give it 3 out of 10.
That's 2 8s and a 3. It seems that there's a great game there if you can get into it.
A lot of preparation goes into this show, you know. We needed people to review games about high-speed road warrior maniacs. So who did we ask? A couple of high-speed road warrior maniacs, of course.
Hi, I'm Jason Bizzardi, and I ride a Harley-Davidson Tour Glide Ultra Classic, and this is my dad.
I'm Hoss Bizzardi, and I ride a Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail.
So I think we're highly qualified to review 2 of the fastest games on the Mega Drive, Lotus Turbo Challenge.
And of course, the Road Rash 2.
I find on Road Rash 2 that you can enter bends far too fast because the signs are so small, unlike on Lotus Turbo Challenge, where the signs are much bigger and give you a much better warning.
The Lotus Turbo is really a fast car, and the game is really fantastic and it responds very quickly. But the motorbike, the Road Rash 2, is a bit slow. It could do with being a bit faster.
I find the handling of the two games completely different. Lotus Turbo Challenge is much more predictable and much smoother, whereas Road Rash 2, you're all over the place. It's wobbling into corners, wobbling out of corners, and they're very wooden.
Lotus is a brilliant game as far as the handling is concerned. It's very responsive. But I found the Road Rash 2 a little bit, once, for example, if you go around the corner and you end up on the grass, it takes you a long time to come off it. But I beat Jason anyway, so there we are. Yeah, in terms of the real thing, I've driven many sports cars, including the Lotus, and the game is really, really good, and it stands up to what it should be. As far as the Road Rash 2 is concerned, it is also a nice game, but it's not the same as if you're on a bike out on the road and getting the fresh air, looking at the countryside.
I don't think either of the games were at all realistic. We both play computer games, and I can see why so many people get addicted to them, but I think I'll stick with the real thing.
There's nothing like a bit of contrast, is there? So let's review a game with a few cute people in it. And it's Rainbow Island on the Master System. In this sizzling sequel to Bubble Bobble, evil forces have taken over the Rainbow Islands. So take on the role of Bubby, a cute character with a fetish for rainbows, and demolish the wacky evil forces before the islands go to ruin. There's more to this one than meets the eye, though. Bashing the bad guys with your rainbow ammo transforms them into useful potions and magical items, but if you want to complete the whole game, you must discover 7 crystals on each of the 7 worlds, 1 for each colour of the rainbow. To do this, cast your rainbow over the baddies, jump on it and send the whole caboodle crashing down, leaving you a nice shiny crystal. Collect all the crystals and do away with the end-of-level guardians, and you could get a look at the secret Bubble Bobble world at the end of the game.
It's probably without doubt the most cute and colourful game you've ever seen on your Master System, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you have seen it before in other formats. Playing the one character lets you get into the game a little bit more than most, but it would have been nice to see 2 players on the screen. It would have been nice to have a 2-player option. After you've played the first level, they all get very repetitive, and unless you're a real fan of the Bubble Bobble type game, platform, leapy, then that's about what you're going to get out of it.
I think this was given to me because of the job I do. Obviously, playing around with rainbows is appropriate for a weatherman, but I didn't find it particularly appropriate. I think it's something I've seen before when you have to throw a net, so it seemed to me to be a version of the same old thing that's been going for quite a long time.
Rainbow Islands is the sequel to Bubble Bobble. It's been on every console system known to man, except for the Master System, and here it is. It's the same old platform format of clocking up points and killing baddies using your rainbows. There's plenty of goodies to collect, and it's all very pretty and good fun.
I've got to give it 6 out of 10, just because it looks really nice. It's very cute and very colourful, but as I say, repetitive, and not a lot to it after the first level.
As far as my score is concerned, it has to be a fairly low one, only about 4 out of 10.
I'll give it 7 out of 10, because it is a good fun classic game, but the graphics really do make it a bit dated.
Rainbow Island scores a surprising 4, 6 and 7. This is a classic game. It's even been voted the best Amiga game of all time. But now on the Master System, it does look a little bit tired and dated. Time now for a break. But before we go, take a look at the following clip from Zelda 3 and see if you can work out what's lurking in the chest. Answer after the break. Hello again. Well, if you were looking closely, you might have worked out that the chest was in the blacksmith's cottage in Dark World, which means it contains that mysterious magic bottle, allowing you to pick up more valuable items and potions. Our next review is on Chess Mania on the PC. As in other chess simulators, the aim of the game is to take pieces from your opponent's team, but in this version you really are on a weird and wonderful battlefield where military reenactment of the scene will occur. To make this more realistic, each of the chess pieces are carefully designed characters, from harem girls for the pawns to wizards and witches for the kings and queens. Choose to play in boring or exciting modes, but look out for the awful puns and yawning pieces.
It did have a difference in that it was sort of interactive and it gave a different dimension because the pieces sort of, as it were, reacted back to you. So from that point of view, and the graphics were good, I think it might make a change to the ordinary, boring, everyday computer chess game.
Apart from all the fancy graphics where you have incredible battles with the various pieces, it's still just chess all underneath it. But if you're looking for a good chess game and you're not looking for a standard boring pieces moving around one, this could be the one for you.
The old banana trick, eh?
Well, there's a lot of grandmasters out there who are going to hate this one. It's chess, yeah, and if you like chess, then you may as well go and get it, but there's a whole lot more to it than that. Pick the exciting mode, and all kinds of wacky things are going to happen. The characters come to life, there's harem girls there, there's wizards, there's witches, and as you go to take pieces, they'll just come out and make battle with each other.
What's that?
It's a Persian egg.
What's a Persian egg?
$5 a week. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
It's funny. It's addictive, and if you like chess, you've got to get it. If not, that's the problem. If you don't like chess, then probably not worth your while buying it, because after all is said and done, it may be fun, but it is only a game of chess.
As for the score, let's go up a little bit for a change and give it 6 out of 10.
I give it 8 out of 10 because it's a very attractive looking chess game. It's certainly different from the normal ones, but I don't think it has the kind of depth and one-player mode to make it as good as, say, the Chess Master games.
Chess Mania, I'm going to give 6 points out of 10, purely because if you don't like chess, then this may not be a thing, although it does have something that may grab you, even so.
Chess Mania rates 2 6s and an 8. All those fancy graphics and effects, it's kind of like putting a spoiler on a Robin Reliant. It's still a Robin Reliant underneath.
Tomorrow night, Games World's live Wednesday evening show Try Your Luck will be pioneering a new technique which enables you to play video games by telephone. Sounds exciting? Well, you're darn right it is, because it means quite literally that someone in Cornwall can pick up a phone and play a game of, say, Street Fighter 2 against someone in the north of Scotland. It works kind of like this. All you need at home is a telephone. And when you phone us, you get through to this box of tricks here. What this does is it picks up the signals from your telephone and transfers them into digital signals which our consoles can understand. At home, if you look at the keypad of your phone, you'd probably be using the 2 as up, 4 and 6 as left and right, 8 as down, 0 as a fire button, and then when it gets through to here, to our box, we've got all the numbers here, and they turn into joypad signals. And so our console actually thinks it's getting signals from a proper joystick. Unfortunately, though, only people with a continuous tone telephone can participate in these games. If you're not sure what phone you have, just pick up the receiver and press a button. If it makes a constant bleep when you keep your finger on the key, it's eligible, and that's the good news. But if it clicks, pulses, or the tone cuts out, you're out of luck, I'm afraid. We found 2 willing guinea pigs to try out this method of interactive gaming.
Hi, I'm Peter. And I'm Robin. And we're here to do a dummy run on the touch-tone gaming system. We're going to test it on the game Pilot Wings. Number 2 is up, and 8 is down. And number 0 is A to open the parachute. I found playing with the phone quite hard because it's very bulky and it's got the feel of a joypad, but you're unable to pick it up. It just felt very strange. Playing with the phone is quite difficult because sometimes it's a bit unreceptive and you can't really press up or down or across. It'll be very strange playing the games with someone who lives in, say, Manchester or Liverpool, but I think I could get used to the idea. Although it's quite hard, I would like to play games down the phone on TV. I think it was a very good design, very original, and it would be very useful on some TV shows. I'd probably phone in and use it.
If you want to participate in tomorrow's British premiere of this exciting use of technology and play a popular video game live on TV, the telephone lines are now open for you to call. Just ring 0891 500 114 and the call should cost you no more than 25 pence, but please get permission before you phone if you don't pay the bill. If you're selected, you could be playing the latest games against other people around the globe from the comfort of your own living room.
On to the final review of the evening. And it's Summer Challenge on the Mega Drive, where the world's best athletes pit their skills against each other in pursuit of elusive gold medals. Enter your name and country of origin and compete in 2 playing modes, training or competing at each event. The computer athletes have 3 different skill levels, so you can make life as easy or as hard as you like. There are 8 grueling summer sports events, including the pole vault, javelin and kayaking. Instant replay features allow you to relive some of your best moments, and there's even some digitised footage of contestants to create sporting atmosphere.
It's much better than Olympic Gold, which is the Mega Drive's previous Olympic game, because the graphics are much better and you're viewed from behind the actual characters. But it's still a very simple game underneath all that, with just basic button tapping to get you over the obstacles, and there's no real skill involved.
I found it quite a challenge, and I actually enjoyed it. And I was sitting there getting quite carried away with the javelin thrower. Nobody told me that they had to stop at the red line, so I actually did some record-breaking throws. But it was simple, and for me, that made it enjoyable, because I'm not really very dexterous.
You've seen it before on Olympic Gold. Now this one goes 2, 3, maybe 4 steps further. You've got the standard events, you've got hurdles, you've got pole vault, you've got high jump. But on top of that, you've got some really, really wonderful sports that are going to get you going. For one thing, there's horse jumping. I mean, who the hell thought to put horse jumping in an Olympic Games computer game? It's amazing, and it's the first time I've ever seen anything like it. There's kayaking, that's a laugh. If you try and go too fast, you're going to miss those poles. If you go too slow, you're not going to beat any records. And that goes for all of them. They're not too difficult to pick up, but you've got to go some to beat those records. And it's really refreshing to see some of those different events on a type of game that really has been around for yonks. And that's why this one has the edge for me.
6 out of 10, because it really does have good graphics, but it's not really worth buying. There's just not enough to it.
As a score, I'll surprise everybody and give it a fairly high one, about 8 out of 10.
I'm going to give Summer Challenge 9 points. OK, it may not be the most original game around, but some of the events in there make it something special. It's going to stand out, and I think it's going to do well this summer, without a doubt.
A 6, an 8 and a 9. Pretty good scores, but not quite good enough to send to game heaven. I said not quite good enough. Well, it's time to say goodnight from the House of Games, but please join us next week when I'll be putting some more of the latest releases to our panel of guests.
From next week, we'll be including a new section in the programme that will provide information on events coming up in the Games Player's Diary, such as news on competitions, shows, exhibitions and everything else. But before we go tonight, let's have the last word from Michael Fish.
There'll be a full moon later on this week, so watch out for all those lunatics out there. Quite a few in here as well.
Don't forget, Nick Ross is hosting a special Sky debate on TV violence in 2 hours' time at 8:30 tonight. But first, the great entertainment continues here on Sky One with hit drama from E Street. Don't go away.